Climbing in life can feel pretty messy, especially now during the current chaos in the world. Well, how do you navigate this chaos, this mess? Well, you're not going to survive, much less thrive, unless you can find a way to navigate and process yourself through the chaos and the messiness of the world. In order to survive, you create order and create structure. But how you create that order and structure is really important. If you're creating it as a way to avoid the stress, avoid the chaos, then you're not going to navigate it very well. Well, what we're looking at today is climbing and how it can give us order and structure for helping us navigate this chaos and mess. We can look to climbing because it gives us a useful metaphor. This climbing metaphor gives us a direction for our motivation and for the work that we do toward achieving our goals. This climbing metaphor can help us thrive, not just survive in the chaos that we're experiencing in the world. It's helpful to create a structure that represents how the world actually is. Well, climbing can give us the structure. There are three parts: goals, motivation, and work. When you go climbing, you pick a specific route. That in itself defines the goal. Goals are the first part of the climbing metaphor, and it's important to identify those first because they guide the other two parts, the motivation and the work. Motivation moves you toward your goals, and you need to understand your motivation. Motivation is the second part of the climbing metaphor. Now, once you have that goal, a structural tension is created between your current circumstances and the goal. There's a difference there. It creates a structural tension, and you navigate that structural tension by how you do the work. How you do that work is going to determine the kind of life you have, the kind of experiences that you have. Are you going to create experiences that you enjoy, or are you going to create experiences of just wanting to get the work over with? These three aspects or parts of the climbing metaphor, they impact each other. They allow you to both enjoy the work that you're doing and achieve the goals that are important to you. Without goals, you end up nowhere meaningful. Achieving goals is evidence that you've learned something. It's a way of testing your learning. Goals do three main things for you. One, they give inspiration. Two, they give vision. Three, they give direction. Goals inspire you. Why would you want to live a life that's not inspiring? Without inspiration, you're just surviving. It's kind of like you're just waiting until you're going to die. But with inspiration, you can thrive in your life. You feel more alive during your life experiences. Goals give vision. When you have a vision, then you're more purposeful in what you're pursuing. With purpose, you want to move through the stress that stands between where you are and the goals you want to achieve. This creates a more meaningful experience, a more meaningful place to end up in your life. Goals give a direction toward what's important to you. You know where you're going to create a meaningful life for yourself. You're inspired. You know the purpose of why you're doing what you're doing, and you have a direction. These guide your motivation and the work that you do to achieve your goals. Are you motivated to engage the stress that life has or a difficult rock climb has? Or are you exclusively comfort-based motivated? Well, in life, you have both of these. There's a certain aspect of motivation where you want to do something difficult, where you want to rise to a challenge. And then there are other aspects of motivation where you're looking for the easiest way. Being motivated to do something that's difficult or something challenging is very natural. And you're motivated this way before you take action. But here, this second part of the climbing metaphor, motivation, we're talking about the motivation that you have when you engage in the work itself. And this is exclusively comfort-based motivated. You're looking for the easiest way. You're looking for the path of least resistance. On a rock climb, you're looking for the easiest way through the difficult rock sequences. In life, you're looking for the easiest way to create something or to do tasks. And here you can see why it's important to set those goals. Because without goals, your comfort motivation is just going to take you nowhere meaningful. But with goals, you point your comfort motivation in the direction of the stress, in the direction of achieving those goals so that you can process it and learn. So there's nothing wrong with navigating the structural tension between your current abilities and the goals you want to achieve via the path of least resistance. Work makes up the majority of the content of your life. So the questions you need to ask yourself are, what kind of content do I want to have? Will your attention dwell on goal achievement? Or will your attention dwell on the work itself? It's important to understand the value of work. Like, are you doing it for its own sake? Consider climbing the next difficulty level on the rock climb. How interested are you in doing that work? If you're interested in doing that work, if you value doing the work for its own sake, then you're going to enjoy your difficult experiences more. It's going to create more meaningful memories. And most importantly, your attention is going to be more present on what you're doing. That's going to help you learn more effectively and you'll progress quicker. I have a climbing goal. Some friends found a beautiful unclimbed 20-foot roof crack. They invited me to do the first ascent. For me, I'm inspired by roof cracks. Honestly, they scare the hell out of me also, but I'm more inspired than scared. This goal gives me vision and direction. There's something about roof cracks that resonates with me. It's a kind of an interesting combination of being scared but also excited. This particular roof crack gives me a direction. I have to go to it in order to do the first ascent. Now, a structural tension is created between my current circumstances of not having done the first ascent yet and doing the first ascent. So there's this structural tension between the two. And I navigate the structural tension, pointing my comfort motivation through it, doing the work toward achieving the first ascent. This gives my comfort-based motivation a direction toward achieving that first ascent. Now, I want to enjoy this experience. It's going to take a lot of trips. It's going to take a lot of effort, a lot of work in order to achieve a goal like this. I want to create memories that I can reflect on later. And I also know that if I enjoy the work for its own sake, then my attention is going to be more focused in the present moment. And if I can do that, I'm going to learn the protection placements. I'm going to learn the rest positions. I'm going to learn the climbing sequences quicker and more effectively. When I think about this experience, getting on this climb, this combination of being a little scared and excited makes my hands sweat and puts a smile on my face. I'm enthusiastic about wanting to engage a goal like this. I have a life goal. I've inherited a 30-acre farm from my father. It's a beautiful place where I grew up. It has hollows, forests, and a free-flowing stream. My goal is to build a small log cabin there. This goal gives me vision and direction. It gives me vision, it gives me purpose because I want to create a space in nature where I can understand the material outside of climbing. And it gives me a direction because I need to create this space on that farm. And of course, it creates a structural tension there because the space isn't created yet. There's not a cabin there until a time when the space is created and the cabin is built. And I want to value the work that it's going to take to create this space. I need to clear the space. There are a lot of trees that need to be cut down. I need to find a cabin. I actually found a cabin up in Kentucky that I'm going to dismantle and transport to the farm. And then there's going to be work involved in building it back up. I need to find a general contractor to help me do this. All of this is aspects of work, steps I need to take to create this space. And I want to enjoy this work. If I'm enjoying the work, then I'm going to be more present for it, and that'll speed my learning of what needs to be done, who I need to collaborate with to achieve this goal. And I'm quite excited about it. So having these goals and valuing the work, it creates a more meaningful life experience for me. It helps me thrive, not just survive. Do you want to climb the next higher grade? Do you want more stability in navigating the chaos of life? Well, the climbing metaphor can help guide this process. You do this by setting goals, understanding your motivation, and valuing work. Here's the drill. 1. Define the goal. Goals that inspire you sustain your engagement and stress. Define a goal that inspires you. Be as clear and specific as possible. What's your vision? In other words, you're envisioning what your future life will be like once the goal is achieved. That goal and vision give you direction for your efforts. 2. Understand your motivation. A structural tension is created between your current circumstances and the goal. Motivation and work are how you navigate that structural tension. You'll be exclusively comfort-based motivated when doing the work. That's natural. The goal gives that motivation direction. You point it toward the stress that stands between you and your goal. 3. Value the work. Work will be required to close the gap between your current circumstances and the goal. Value that work. Do the work for its own sake. Find joy in the struggle itself. That will keep you present, make your journey more fun, and speed the progress to your goal. Life is chaos. Life is messy. Don't fight this fact. Find a way to embrace it. Navigate the stress and the messiness with the climbing metaphor. That gives you structure and order that's aligned with how the world is. You know where you're going. You point your natural comfort-based motivation in that direction, and then you value the work that you're doing to close that gap. The climbing metaphor can help you enjoy your life journey.